Hello, we're back here today. Um, we're gonna do a box, another easy one from VulnHub that's hosted on Proving Grounds called vegeta1, vegeta, whatever. So this is actually a super easy box. I learned a couple of things from this because I'm so noobly. Um, So let's launch right into it. We have the IP, we got our nmap, and T5 top ports, 5N. We don't need a V. And what else? Scan version, aggressive. That should be good. So that's going, and it won't take very long. It's gonna find SSH, and port 80, HTTP. So SSH will be useful eventually, but we're gonna start with port 80. And all we have is a picture. It's a picture of an anime guy, I guess. We look at the source, and there's nothing in here. On a rabbit hole, kind of very short, very briefly, I downloaded the picture to look for steganography, and I was like, no. So, and the next thing, obviously, is to look using Deerbuster. So I did that. And let me tell you, it got me a few things. But it didn't get me where I needed to be. And the reason is because of my word list. So that's something I'm going to work on. I found a good kind of thing to use. Copy, I'll just paste it in here real fast. Paste clipboard. So that generally, I mean, you don't need to be specific for PHP. That one is mostly for this, but that would have gotten me to the right answer here. The other thing to always do, is to look at the robot.txt. Always. And so you look in there, and you see that there's a thing. Let's view the page source here. And the lines keep going. Go down and look at this. So that, I've saved it in clue 1. Pause for a second here. All right, continuing on. I saw that. I was like, that kind of looks like base64. It's been a minute since I actually saw this. Saw base64, but I'm like, it looks kind of like base64. I figured the beginning and end parts might be trouble. So I immediately just took out the beginning and end part, just to give that. So I'm going to do base64 decode. Oh, doesn't really give too much else. So, that kind of stuck me for a minute, and I was like, well, let's do it again. Take that through base64D. Take that through base64D. Invalid input. look for strings. Got those repeating patterns, but that's, you know, a function of sort of derivation. Oh, I took a hint. I looked up sort of where the next direction was to go. And it led me to something called CyberChef. And let me delete what's in there already. There we go. All right. So CyberChef is apparently a really cool thing. And let me show you why. So we paste that in here. And I guess, so we just go from base64, output it, and there that goes. And then it's really funny. It doesn't start like this. You do from base64, it does that. Input, output, remove non-alphabet characters, and then do this. And it's really funny how you can see the preview where it says we'll produce PNG, and you're like, oh, it's going to produce a picture. And it produces a QR code. Now that QR code I just did it with my smartphone, and it gave me, what did it give me? It gave me just a blank screen, and it said password : top shell V. And, you know, let me tell you, that actually didn't turn out to be important at all. This box is full of little rabbit holes like this. So that's one of them. One of the many. But that was a fun little exercise. So next up, I went back to Deerbuster and I hadn't found anything. So I needed another push there. Found that the directory I'm looking for is Bulma. Notice that find me thing was just a giant rabbit hole. Anyways, Bulma. Which, like I said, that word list that I referenced before would have gotten me that. I have no idea even how that ends up in a word list, but whatever. So, download this wave. I couldn't find a way to listen to it. But I figured if I could listen to it, then I'd have it. So I cheated a little bit. I just skipped forward. So okay, you listen to it, you get some Morse code, and then from there, you can decode it. There's a website, Morse World or something, and that's where you'd upload the sound file, and it would give you a user ID and password, which is Trunks, and the password is $3R. So the Deerbuster is the direct pathway inside. So let's look at this. SSH Trunks at vegeta.local USER. Here we are. We do our typical stuff. and I was like, okay, I did interesting things, like find dat, and then perm 400. I think that's, I haven't done that on my own. Let me just double check that. Yes, 2 greater than. And that didn't give me anything anything I really cared for. So I looked in var dub. We can cat etc password, and really, and I guess another step for me to take would be find in root what's the permissions I want. Well, actually I just want to find that 7 and I wonder I'll have to see if I can find just all the files that are read, write, and executable by my user. It's probably not too hard. But the point is, that etc password is writable by my user. So this is the speed run. You know, I spent probably 20 to 30 minutes looking for different privilege escalations, and I missed that. So another thing that I found in the course of privilege escalations is to look in history. So I looked in my history, and let me just go to the top, and here's this top stuff. All of this is before I came online here. So that asks questions. So we appear to have some plain text passwords. Yeah, I'd actually assumed, because I'm bright like that, here's the password, here's the salt, here's the encryption, and then here's what the password is going to look like in the password file. I was like, okay, well, this gives me a template for the command to run. So now let me show you my history. I did that to etc password. And there it is at the bottom. And this is password at 793. And there we are at root. Oops. There we go. But the local flag is in right here. I have no idea why those other stuff is in there. I probably did something silly. No big deal. But that's the box right there. So that's it.